Hi folks, hope you're okay. Today we're looking at this book, A Portrait of Jesus, and we're on the first page. And here are 7 reasons why we should study about Jesus. Number 1, about 1/3 of the world's population consider themselves to be Christians, seek to follow Jesus and worship him as God. To Muslims, another 20%, Jesus is a great prophet. So so many people believe in Jesus, whether he's a prophet or the Son of God, that it requires you to study about who he is. Secondly, the ethical code introduced by Jesus and his followers is the basis of much of the world's thinking. Throughout the Western world and often beyond it, it is the teaching of Jesus that underlie the legal and political systems. Now that's interesting, because you'll find that on the internet there's very little discussion about Jesus. If there is, it's because people have an agenda to debunk him, like the skeptics, or maybe these postmodern thinkers who try to do YouTube blog shows. They try to debunk Jesus. Very few actually recognize his influence on Western culture and take him seriously and just discuss his teaching and life and what it means for today. Second, Western culture is still based upon Jesus, whether obvious or concealed. The influence of Jesus and his followers in art, music, philosophy and literature is enormous. It is hard to understand Western culture unless you understand something about Jesus. All the great philosophers, all the great Western philosophers, all the great, apart from the early Greeks of course, art, literature, you can't really understand that culture unless you understand Jesus. Next, Jesus' words have worked their way into the English language. Whenever we talk about the prodigal son, turning the other cheek, not casting stones, being a good Samaritan, they echo the words and images used by Jesus. Next, Christianity is a global faith that transcends culture and language. In every inhabited continent, hundreds of millions of people are followers of Jesus. Next, Jesus' teaching has proved to be durable. For the last 2,000 years, most of the world's great powers and empires and ideologies have at some time opposed what he stood for. Yet whether the opposition has been 1st century Rome or 20th century communism, the result has been the same. There has been a struggle, and when the dust settles, you find the empire is gone and Jesus' teachings and his followers remain. Millions of people from every culture, race and background claim that turning to Jesus has transformed their lives. So what I find surprising is the lack of interest in Jesus in terms of people on the street, in terms of academia. Yeah, there'll be sensational books written about Jesus, Jesus and the Missing Gospel, Jesus Had a Wife. Those are sensationalist books. They're not really decent scholarship books. They're just popularist books aimed to get a following. In our Western culture, we just need to take Jesus more seriously, and I would encourage you to be more open-minded and intellectually honest and investigate the life of Jesus in a fair and honest way. The culture today is not intellectually vigorous in its investigation of Jesus, both in a popular level at school and college and at university and at a higher academic level. Considering Jesus has had the most impact in our Western culture, that's deplorable and it needs to change. So I would encourage academics to write more books about the life of Jesus in a fair way with a fair methodology, and I would encourage cultural pundits, whether it be journalists and politicians, to bring into the fore Jesus' teaching and to discuss things that he taught and to debate those things. I would encourage young people at school and college to do your own research and find out about Jesus. Your school and college is not telling you all that you need to know. I know that you'll learn about the Gospels, you'll learn about what they said and what your teacher said. Well, your teachers only teach you at a popular level. You need to go deeper. You need to find out for yourself, not what your teacher's telling you, but go deeper. And I would ask you to do this 10 part video, and when I give you the bibliography at the end, go and read one or two of these books and find out for yourself. Alright?